Hey guys and gals, this is Sonic Arrow and I'm making a video on how to install the mods I use in my videos. Those would be XVM, the configuration for the XVM, damage panel, and the crosshair mods. I've got a selection of 2 this time, which means you have a selection of 2, and depending on what you like, there's Jimbo's and then there's Melty's map crosshair combination, stuff like that. And then afterwards, I'm going to be announcing my 1,000 subscriber replay contest. So stay tuned for that. First off, you're going to have to fire up your web browser and go to these websites. I will be posting the links to these websites in the description. So first we've got XVM, the Extended Visualization Mod. And at the current moment, I'm using the XVM 3.50 and the XVM stat for 1.4.2. That's the stable version. They've got the beta versions up here, and you can use these as well. Sometimes they're made for a little bit future versions of World Tanks that you may or may not have, because I believe they're developing it for the Russian client first, then they're doing translations and stuff and bring it over to the rest of the languages. So you'll want to download this and the stat module if you want the stats, for example, chance to win, the efficiency of the players inside the game, stuff like that. So clicking on these, you'll download here, click on that, and you will download stuff. Okay, so I've already downloaded all this stuff. Next, over here, this is the forums for the XVM configuration file that I use. As you can see, they are using 3.50 and 1.4.2, which is what the configuration file was made for. These are just some screenshots of what it looks like. I'm not using their 6th Sense icon. I prefer the regular one. And here's where you download it. You will need the XVM TFF. This is a font file, as it says here. And then here's the configuration file, which you'll just click on. Download both of these. If you've already installed the font file, you don't need to do it again. Next, damage panel. This one is a translation from a Russian mod made by, I don't know, it's credited here in the forum somewhere. And this guy decided to translate it into English. I'm using version 1. Version 2 is going to display your health and damage modules and crew members in the middle of the map. But I prefer it in the usual spot. It's just how I deal with it. So here's the different versions where you can download them. Jimbo's crosshair mod. This is basic layout of the forum site. So previews and stuff. And here's the download. You should be able to figure out how to download these. And here's the new one, MeltyMap'sMathMod 0.6.1. So it's got a few features in here that Jimbo's doesn't have. I've mainly used this, I found out about it, and I'm mainly using this particular crosshair mod because the reload timer works in replays, whereas Jimbo's crosshair does not. So after you've downloaded everything, I can't seem to minimize that. Everything will be in here. First thing you can do is double click on the font file. This is a preview of the font. It's basically different sizes, and this will show you these icons in the minimap instead of just the dot that the regular XVM has, and you'll want to click on install for that. I've already installed it. Now, you go into your computer. The default drive is the C drive when you install World of Tanks. However, I've installed mine on the D drive. You go in there, wherever the default is that you've installed your game. Games, World of Tanks, Res Mods, and then you will see, if you've just newly installed it, you only see 8.5, but I've got this client for a little bit of time. And 8.5, you should see nothing if you don't have any mods. If you do have mods, you'll have most likely a GUI folder. So we'll go down the list, damage panel. So in here, Res Mods 8.5 GUI. You can drag that in here, and it will either ask you to merge, or it'll just copy if you don't have the folder at all. You'll want to merge it and overwrite anything if you had it, if you have this folder before. So I'm just not gonna copy things over, but you guys will be saying yes. We'll go on to the XVM. XVM doc, sorry, not that. Res Mods 8.5, and there's the GUI. Drag it in there and merge. Well, if you already have a mod in there, just merge it and overwrite anything that you need. XVM stat. This is a little bit different. You will need to place that in your root folder, which is just World of Tanks. Down here, I already have the XVM and XVM stat config file. You don't need any of the readmes. You just drag these two things here, drag them in there, overwrite, move and replace if you need to. And whoops. Now for the crosshair mods, here's Jimbo's. This is the easiest one. Here's Res Mods 8.5. If you really don't have too much of an issue, like you just downloaded these mods fresh for the current client, then all you really have to do is drag in the Res Mods folder and overwrite everything into the World of Tanks root folder. But I like to make sure that everything is proper. So GUI in there again, merge and overwrite. Now you'll be wondering what this scripts thing. That's actually from MeltyMap'sMathMod. And here we go. Here's Res Mods 8.5, and you'll see scripts and GUI. You'll need both of these. The scripts is for some special coloring stuff, I believe. It's explained in the README. Just copy that over, and that should be it. That's how you install mods. It's basically the same thing as all the other mods. However, some of them do require a little bit of extra tinkering, but I don't use those. So you'll have to read the readmes for those. And you should be set. Oh, whoops, I forgot. Let me get back there. Oops, that's the wrong one. World of Tanks folder. I have a shortcut to it. The XVM configuration file you'll need. Okay, go to Res Mods, current version, GUI, Flash. Then you put the XVM configuration file in there, and that should be the last file you have right there. And that's so you'll have the customized over target markers and where certain things are placed in the HUD. The 1,000 subscriber replay contest. The rules are going to be a little bit different from what I've seen so far on YouTube. The rules will be heavy tank, spotting damage. I want to see the most amount of spotting damage that you can do in a heavy tank without getting more damage done to the enemy by yourself. So let's, for example, you can do 1,000 damage to the enemy, but spotting damage, I want to see 1,000 damage spotted or more. I do not want to see more damage done to the enemy than you've spotted. That is not the point of the contest. You want to be spotting in a heavy tank, and I'll show you a little bit of that in this game right here. Prizes are going to be about $20 to $30 US. I can get prizes out to the North American server, the European server, and the Southeast Asian server. And that's mostly because I can't read the other World of Tanks websites. I'm not sure I can register properly on there either. Now, gift shops prizes they're kind of different for each server. So On the North American server, you'll see that you can get 6,500 gold for $30. The European will be 5,500 for around $27 US. And the Southeast Asian server will be 4,700 gold for $20 US. So, if there's any specials going on at the time I end this contest, I'm not sure how much time I'll give you guys. Let's see, maybe a month? We'll try a month or two. What do you guys think? I will... No? What? Never mind. I won't ask you guys when to end the contest. I will decide probably a month and a half from now is a good point, ending point. Let's just check quickly the calendar. I can't check properly right now. Whoops. I'll just put up a little annotation on the screen somewhere, and that should be the date for the end of the contest. So just to repeat, I want to see more spawning damage done in a heavy tank than you've done damage to the enemy yourself. I also want to see the 3 screenshots, the end game screenshots. And you also have to be a subscriber. That's pretty much it. I will announce a winner. It'll be randomly... Sorry, it won't be randomly chosen. What am I talking about? It'll be the guy that did the most spawning damage in a heavy tank without going over in his or her own damage. And that should be it. Here's the preview of what I can expect from you guys. Or maybe not. Maybe you guys are just gonna rush in with a KV-5 or something and spot everything and have artillery obliterate the enemy team. Who knows? But this is the most spawning damage I've ever done in my heavy tank, so I'm just gonna show you guys that. That's pretty much it. You can see that our team is getting decimated on the hill. In fact, it's just me and a super British. He doesn't want to back off. So, not good. Of course, there's no artillery in this game, so it's actually a little bit hard to get spawning damage. Ooh. That was a big shot from the IS or the IS-6. One or the other. So I've got a couple of tier 5s, a few tier 6s, and a tier 8 that's down there.
Nice shot.
Now I'm being shot at from behind too. It's different.
Tracks up. Let's go. We've got them.
And I suppose a heavily armored heavy tank will have more luck with spawning damage because it'll be able to survive longer than other heavy tanks that don't have any armor being shot at constantly. Oh dear.
We've hit them hard.
I managed to catch him in the hole over there and bounce a shot. So you can see the KV-4, it's not bad for spotting. Although, it is quite slow. Now, if there was artillery, I might have gotten more spawning damage, but then again, I probably would have died earlier on as well. And here we are. Spotting in a heavy tank. This part's actually quite boring. I just sit around here and wait for them to come over. I'm fairly certain I'm the one spotting them, yeah. I guess my turret's poking out a little bit even though I can't get my gun down enough to fire on them. But the T-34 has fired, and I'm going to be able to get shot at. At the wrong angle, of course, so not good. He looks exposed. I managed to kill him. And we're just gonna keep on going until I die. SU-152 looks like he's using, or it sounds like he was using the 152mm HE gun. I don't want to get hit by that because it could actually hurt me, even if it doesn't penetrate my armor. So I'm requesting a little bit of fire on that guy. Hopefully we can get him out. He's only on 75 health. But nobody seems to have hit him. Well, one guy hit him for minimal damage. It's okay.
We nailed it bad.
Managed to snipe the commander's hatch on that KV-4. 85 damage. Must be... You know what? I don't know who's firing that. Maybe the Panzer IV is firing that. So we've managed to claw back a little bit more kills. There we go. Now, well, never mind. We just lost the T-150. Something over there just fired on me. I believe that was the SU-152. Alright, an HE shot from... I'm assuming it's the SU-152 again. Good damage. No, it wasn't the SU-152. That was the SU-152. And that's the end of the game, and now nobody's spawning for my guys down there, so they're dying. And we lose the game. So let's take a look at the stats. And now I know I don't actually have the proper screenshots for this game, but I wasn't expecting to use this particular game in advance. I just went back, looked for my highest spotted damage in heavy tank, and this is what I came up with. So I've still got the battle summary from one of the sites where, oh, what is it called? VB Addict, I believe it was. And this one I've got 831 points of experience with a patrol duty, spawning damage of 3,588, and personal damage 3,004. 17 shots fired, 12 hit, and I guess it's got the efficiency as well there, 2,249 efficiency, if I'm reading that correctly. And here's a zoomed in shot on my assisted damage and damage dealt to the enemy. I've got the information over here on the right. That's the email you want to send your replays to. I want you to include your YouTube name, your WoT name. The replay file is going to have to be 8.5 and up, just in case 8.6 decides to come out while this contest is running. And I want the 3 screenshots from your end game where all the stats are shown. Make sure that the damage, assist damage or spotting damage, and of course your regular damage is visible, clear, and well, usually if you take a screenshot it should be clear. And the deadline is July 8th, 2013. Hopefully that'll give you guys enough time. This is the first contest I'm running, so I'm not sure about the time length I should use. And here's a bonus. If I can get 20,000 views on this video and 100 likes, I'm going to boost the prize to around $50. And that'll probably cover an entire tank. maybe a T-34 or a Lion or something like that. Depends on what they have in the gift shop at the moment, but it'll be around $50. Thanks for watching. Please press that like button, leave some comments. I look forward to seeing your replays, and I'll see you in future videos.